Then I'm going to unmute Bindu. I'm going to move to the speaker view. Participants, mute all. Anybody has to speak, they'll have to unmute themselves. And also, of course, Bindu will decide who speaks when, whether she wants questions in between or she wants everyone to wait till the end. That's her call. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Dev Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. So welcome everybody to Cafe Spirituality Wisdom Talk. So most of you already know, but I shall still explain for the sake of those who are joining in new. Cafe Spirituality is a group where people are committed to seeking in their own way, in a quest. We try not to get into any isms and any conflict. And the entire idea of having these wisdom talks was that, you know, the subject is so vast and it's so wide that it is unfair that only one person keeps sharing his or her thought process. And in the process, a lot of people may miss an opportunity to find something that they resonate with. So therefore, we started these wisdom talks where we are fortunate that we have very, very nice, very, very spiritually oriented, very, very deeply entrenched in the spiritual practices, people who are willing to come and share so generously their time, their energy, their knowledge, and also handhold those. I mean, I know people, we've had sessions when people have gone back with queries to other people, and that's great because the idea is to have loyalty to the inner journey, and it does not have to be to a path or to a person, because all of us are interested in the same thing, which is spiritual evolution and having better, more meaningful, happier lives and a world which is more kind-hearted. So I will just read out about Bindu because there is so much to say about her. I couldn't possibly remember all of it. But I must share with you the feeling that I had when I met Bindu. I mean, she's such a beautiful person and she just leaves you feeling warm and fuzzy inside every time you interact with her. And I think many of us who have interacted with her have resonated and actually articulated it aloud. I remember she was almost embarrassed one day because we were all gushing over her over a meal. Do you remember that, Bindu? So I will just quickly read about her. So she was intuitive from an early age with a deep and abiding interest in all things mystical, spiritual, and esoteric, and led to an extensive study of subject, which she found to be her true calling and gave herself up to it full time over 16 years ago. Ever since, she has been helping to guide and heal an ever-growing list of clients from many countries across the world with tarot, crystal healing, hypnotherapy, sound healing, and counseling workshops and healing retreats. She has been featured in a book called Change Your Life, along with some illustrious, well-known gurus and healers in the country, written articles for many magazines, and is now published in a book, Holistic Wellness, which has become a bestseller on Amazon. Radio shows, television shows, being quoted on leading print media, being invited to address and work with various groups, both in India as well as internationally, conducting empowerment and healing workshops for individuals as well as corporates, addressing literature festivals are all part of her 16 years repertoire. Now, besides traveling extensively, which probably is kind of taken a little of a backseat given the pandemic situation that we have all been in, traveling has taken a backseat for everybody, but she has been traveling extensively on invitations by various organizations, both in India and other countries. She works full-time and out of her healing center, Angelite, and combines tarot, crystals, hypnotherapy, color, and sound to bring guidance and healing in her clients' lives. She also regularly conducts personal empowerment and healing work, shops and spiritual workshops and spiritual retreats, both in and out of the country, and to help people get in touch with themselves, heal, and tap into their innate potential. Wow. Not that it was possible to like her any more than I do already, but there you are. So over to you, Bindu, please.
Yeah, thank you, Anu. I must say, it felt really good hearing all of that. Anyway, so today, basically, I've been asked to try to explain to you how, what the science behind spiritual healing is. So I'm going to attempt to do that. As I just mentioned earlier, it's of course, and as Anu said, it's a very, very vast subject, but we'll try to compact it in as much as one can. At one level, it's very simple, but there are different aspects that go into it. So I've been doing everything that Anu mentioned actually for the last 18 years. And over this time, I mean, I've lost track of the sheer number of times I've even sat in on conversations people are having, you know, very animated between the believers and the non-believers of what has often been referred to as mumbo jumbo, of, you know, things like whether it was tarot, Reiki, Feng Shui, Vastu, whatever. Often enough, I've had a complete skeptic walk in for a tarot reading and walk out absolutely blown away with the accuracy of the cards and, you know, wondering how they can tell you all that they tell you. I've had, over the years, you know, crystals are like rocks and minerals from the earth. You look at a crystal and you wonder, how can crystal work its magic? I've seen, as I said, I've lost track of how many magical healings and stories one has actually experienced. Now, all these mantic and prophetic arts actually developed hundreds of years ago. And what's happening today is we're actually experiencing a huge resurgence, and it's a wave that's sweeping across the planet. It's not just in Delhi, it's not just in India, it's not just in Bombay, it's just all over. Whether it's workshops, whether it's meditations, more and more people are now consulting spiritual healers and gurus, numerologists, etc., to help them not just get answers, but to enable them, help them heal and empower them. Now, coming back to what I said, I mean, with stones, for instance, you wear a mala of certain combinations of crystals, you go to sleep and you sleep like a baby. You wear another combination, your migraines are gone. You wear another one, years old acidity vanishes. So all this feels like magic, but it isn't. And as I said, in these troubled times with more and more people going towards this, if it's such a growing wave, there must be something to it, right? And if all these things have survived for centuries, hundreds of years, and they're experiencing a resurgence, there must be something to it. And I mean, the very fact that we have a cafe spirituality happening with so many people logging in just tells us I want to put it this way, the frequency at which the planet has begun to vibrate. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, this would not have been the case, all right? So I've witnessed this magic on a daily basis. And all I want to say is, before I actually start explaining to you, is that none of all these things would work, whether it was a hypnotherapy, whether it was a tarot, crystals, or whatever, if it was not science. So it is all science, but simply operating at a level that the layperson doesn't understand or doesn't bother to even really go into. And for me personally, I think the most amazing part of my journey was, I mean, I was somebody who actually deplored science when I was in school, but once I got into spirituality, it just amazed me to finally understand that spirituality and all things spiritual are nothing but science, and it all has to do with energy. Now, with all the different things that Anu mentioned that I do, when people ask me what do you do, I generally say I am an energy worker. Because the one common underlying factor with each one of these things is energy. Now, science tells us there's only one reality in the world, and that is energy. Energy vibrating at different frequencies creates different illusions of solids. The only difference between the table, chair, phone, laptop, etc., is the rate of vibration or the rate of frequency. Our physics tells you energy exists as electromagnetic waves, light energy, sound, magnetic, mechanical, nuclear, gamma rays, etc., etc. So one energy is manifesting as so much diversity. And I'm going to just, bear with me for a while. This may sound a little sort of scientific for a bit, but it'll all come together in your mind, in your head. Energy moves in waves of color and in waves of sound. So there's a sonic frequency or a vibration being emitted all the time. We call it the music of the spheres, which is the music of the various planets as well. So, and this light is basically flowing through every single thing, every single thing. So everything that you can see not only has a color, but it has a vibration. There is a frequency emanating from every single thing that you see. And everything that you sense as a vibration carries a color as well. And the same energy is flowing through everything. It's flowing through every grain of sand, rock, plant, animal, flower, tree, oceans, mountains, every human being. It's flowing in through every cell of your body. It's flowing through the entire planet. It's flowing through the entire universe. I wonder whether any of you ever stopped to think of the word universe. Universe is one verse, one song, one vibration. So universe basically is talking about the oneness of all of cosmic creation that exists. So from the cells in your body to the whole universe, that is the stars, galaxies, nebula, solar systems, constellations, asteroids, are all made up of energy waves. One energy manifesting as this diversity. And the differences are only due to wavelengths. Now, there's one other aspect to this. Light has a physical aspect, which we are familiar with. We all say we feel heat, you see in the light. It also has a metaphysical aspect. What is the metaphysical aspect? You say things like, oh, he's seen the light. I'm feeling lightheaded. I'm feeling lighthearted. So there is an element of emotion and consciousness and feeling attached to it. Now, no energy exists without both these sides to it. There is a physical side and a metaphysical side. In fact, the Bible said, the universe came into being when God said, let there be light, right? The other name for light really is living in God's heart at all times. And this light, I'm going to repeat it, is flowing through every last thing. Now, when we begin to understand this correlation between the physical and the metaphysical, we actually begin to know and understand the science of the soul, because it's all energy. And if it's all energy, everything is a hologram. Now, do you know how a hologram works? One little part of a hologram contains information and consciousness of the whole. This is how cloning is done. How do you think a sheep can be cloned? One cell is taken and a whole sheep is created. So take any cell, it has a nucleus and genes. The human cells, we have 30,000 genes. I mean, I could go on and on. So the entire cosmos is a hologram. It is all light. Not only that, there is something called sacred geometry or creation codes. Light flows in certain ways. And the different flows of light create different essences of light. These are creation codes that the creator has put into place. And, this light doesn't come from an individual. Where does it come from? It comes from the galactic sun. The sun is the giver of all life, all potency, everything. And we call this light by different names. You've all at some point of time used the word prana, chi, energy, life force, whatever the name you give it. Basically, what I'm trying to say to you is nothing, not even a grain of sand, would exist but for this light. And nothing would move and grow and exist the way it does if the sacred geometry of this light was not in place. So now I'd like to ask you, what is light? Would anyone like to answer that? Would someone want to try? Anu, what is light? Okay, let me answer that. Light, yes.
I can say what I have just read recently. In the sun, there is a black hole. And in that black hole, it's absolutely darkness. So when there's a vacuum, there's a particular sound which comes, and that sound has a sound effect, something like Om. Yes. So when that comes out in a bigger form, because sun is so big and it's managing all the planets around us, so that sound which creates actually how the light has come. First, there was only darkness, and after that, there was only speech. The words were there, because when Vishnu created the Shrishti, he created seven. What do you call that? Seven Sanatan, 7 people to take care of the thing. So when they had nothing, it was sheer darkness. That's the time they say that Om was recited by them. But yes, if you see it in the scientific way, it has actually come from the sun. So what is the sun? Sun is again a creation of the God. So great, from that sun, when that light has come, it goes into friction, and that friction has become the light.
So what you're saying is exactly what I'm saying, that the sun emits a sonic frequency. The frequency of that sound is Om. Om is what has created the universe. So again, in fact, I'm going to give you the answer now. So what is light? Light is simply God projection. It is divinity manifested in every aspect. It is God saying, I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. And light is also a manifestation of all that is perfect, whole, beautiful, quiet, tranquil, peaceful, still, fun, joyous. There's a reason we refer to it as solstice, because the sun is the soul center of the universe. And as I said earlier, there is a geometry, there is a certain flow of energy that holds the entire, not just the planet Earth, not just our universe, but the entire cosmic, whatever it is we know and we don't know, it's holding it together. It's an unbelievable tapestry that the Creator has made, where everything works to perfection. Whether it's the seasons, the planetary orbits, the way each thing grows, the way nature's held together. And in fact, the most perfect piece of machinery ever created that we deal with on a day-to-day basis is our human body. Okay? So these creation codes have resonances, they have a symmetry. And you've got your magnetic points, North Pole, South Pole, etc. So now you're beginning to understand how the Vastu and the numerology and all of that. In fact, I love saying this, and I think every quantum physicist will tell you this also, that God is basically just the best mathematician. Everything works to perfection. So every single thing in the universe is tapped into it. And this is the universal life force of energy flowing through everything, call it prana, chi, whatever. We are in the hologram. We are a hologram. We are part of the hologram. So we are part of this energy grid, and we function within that energy grid. And very simply put, I'm just giving you something to think about. If there are many energy grids, say you're on a road to Mumbai, what are you going to meet? You're going to meet the others on the road to Mumbai, right? So whatever it is on the way, I'm just talking about our pathways now. So this whole grid is connected. And if this whole grid is connected, think about it. It's not just connected physically. It's connected in consciousness. There is a consciousness flowing through this entire cosmos. Quantum physicists tell you And quantum physics, what does quantum physics do? It basically explores the subatomic level at which everything in the universe operates. It explores the roots, the drivers, if you will. And every single astrophysicist and scientist today tell us that we live in a conscious universe, that there is a consciousness in the universe. And what is consciousness? Consciousness is basically spirit. What is spirituality? Spirituality is getting in touch with your own spirit. And when you get in touch with your own spirit, you are then able to get in touch with the spirit of the universe. And then you can begin to work all kinds of magic, but that's another workshop. Let me get back to what I'm saying, okay? So the universe is spirit, and spirituality is your own connection and consciousness with universal consciousness, all right? So this energy is intelligent, all right? It hears you. If it's consciousness and it's intelligence, it hears you. It receives your thoughts and emotions. And because one of the main sacred geometry resonance that's in place is that like attracts like, we call it the law of attraction. There is resonance. So basically what you send out is what comes back, because the universe hears you and gives you exactly what you ask for. The first law of creation almost is that which is like unto itself is drawn. Now, have any of you heard the term Akashic Records? What are Akashic Records?
Yes, yes.
Right? Every last thought, word, deed, action, emotion that has ever occurred is held in energetic imprints as a record in the cosmos. So it's like magnetic tapes of information playing out there. And incidentally, this is how tarot works, because tarot works through a process of demonics and psychokinesis. The cards are able to tap into this universal consciousness and bring down knowledge. Carl Jung talks about a universal subconsciousness or a collective subconsciousness, which we in India refer to as the Akashic Records. It's exactly what I'm talking about, that there's a memory. There is a group memory underlying the entire planet of everything that has ever occurred, is occurring, and will occur. And since there is resonance, the memory creates. So this matrix of energy is a very tightly woven web. It's a container that holds the universe. And this is the bridge between our inner and outer worlds. How is it a bridge? Quite simply through your breath. You know, each time you breathe in, you're not only breathing in oxygen, you're breathing in information, you're breathing in consciousness contained in that information. And here's something I want all of you to remember. If there's nothing else you take back from this talk, keep this in mind. Each time you breathe out a part of your consciousness, your energy. You leave an energetic footprint on the sands of time of the light that you are carrying at that moment, wherever you are. All right. So as I said, this is the universe is intelligent. And even though you may not be consciously aware of it, you're in constant communication with it. You're always talking to this field of energy through your thoughts, through your emotions. So when we come finally to the healing, a lot of it has to do with conscious co-creation, where you begin to become aware of your thoughts. That's part of this whole thing. And as I said, this universal matrix is governed by a law. That which is like unto itself is drawn. What is even more powerful, it responds to the power of human emotion. I'm quoting Greg Braden, who's one of the foremost quantum physicists in the world today. And this is what he says. This is what all physicists say. So coming back to what I was saying, so whatever frequency you're vibrating at, you're going to draw in a similar frequency. If you're carrying a frequency of happiness, and this can be a learned frequency, folks, that's what workshops and sessions are all about. So if you're carrying a happiness frequency, you're going to draw in more happy stuff. If you're walking around with a pall of gloom, all the thought forms floating around which resonate with that are going to come and attach themselves to you and further enhance the pall of gloom. Now, astrophysicists have experimented with human DNA. And it's very interesting. And they have proven to us that at any given point of time in our lives, wherever we are at, happy or not, successful or not, good or bad, it is all the result simply of our past thoughts and emotions. Not just in this life, what we carry from our past lives, we all understand as karmas, all right? So wherever we are at right now, and it's all energy. This is all energy. It's all frequency. So effectively, what you are choosing to think, and I'm using the word choosing, to think and feel in this moment is already creating your future moments and your life. So this is part of conscious creation of, and this is spiritual healing. It's a part of spiritual healing. I'll get to the other stuff in a bit. To consciously communicate with this field, to go into a state of conscious co-creation, saying, okay, there's success I want, there's happiness I want. And, you know, I've lost track how many times I've said this. To have any energy in your life, you have to become that energy. You want kindness, you have to be kind. You want love in your life, you have to be a loving person. I mean, if you wanted to watch NDTV and you turned on the television, you would not tune into Sahara, right? You would tune into NDTV. So there are different channels of energy flowing out there, light energies, there are dark forms as well. So we choose what we connect with and how we co-create. In fact, every single act of visualization is an act of creation. And this is how guided meditations and things like that work as well. So let me give an example. You know, in the way that you look at someone, you actually change the frequencies of that person. If I'm looking at somebody with a lot of love and a lot of joy and happiness, that person's going to start, the frequencies of that person are going to rise a little bit. If I'm looking at somebody with hate, with fear, with whatever, that's going to manifest as well. And you know, you don't often have to go and tell a person, hey buddy, I love you, or hey buddy, I dislike you. Energy travels. And this is how one senses what one does. So I'm going to say this in the same vein, since we've talked about sonic frequency, we've talked about intention, we've talked about spiritual awareness, consciousness. Prayers, every single prayer manifests, curses manifest as well. Okay, so coming back to what I was saying, all is one. There is no separateness. The way you think or act affects the whole, and the whole affects you. And so in effect, we are connected to every single thing. Think about it. I mean, how does your cell phone work? Are there wires? No. How does satellite work? Television, microwaves. How do viral fevers transfer? Right? So if there's a murder or something sad and terrible that happens at one end of the planet and we're sitting far away, make no mistake, all the energies of the sadness that emanate from there are going to go out into the universe. They're going to create a morphogenetic field, which eventually we are going to be part of. The same thing works with an act of kindness. When you're good to someone, when you're feeling good, when you're, what I refer to it as holding light. When you're holding light, you're emanating light. And you end up contributing to the cosmic grid as well. So thoughts too are energy. They're the finest forms of energy. Thoughts have a shape, they have a color, they have a form. Clairvoyants actually see thought forms. So think about it. If there's resonance, every time you have a thought, visualize it leaving your brain. It goes out into the universe. It creates an electromagnetic field of energy, which then draws to you exactly what you're sending out. And just as an aside, human beings, I think an average of about 65,000 thoughts a day, out of which 45,000 are repetitious. We're not even conscious of what we're thinking about and what we are creating for ourselves. So we need to become aware of our thought processes, because all energy carries frequencies, all right? So be cognizant, be vigilant of your thoughts, be cognizant and vigilant of the spaces that you're in. You know, there are certain places where you feel great, you go to the hills, you're by the seaside, etc., etc. people you're with as well, there's a huge energy exchange that happens. And one needs to live in a little state of awareness. We all talk about my energies are being leached, or I feel great around this person, etc., etc. So just for a moment, folks, stop for a second and just think how powerful each and every one of us is. Each and every one of us, by our thoughts and deeds, we have the power to actually shift the frequencies of the planet. You don't need to be sitting at the head of the government to do that. Yes, they are more powerful, they do what they do, but as more and more people begin to vibrate at a more refined frequency, that frequency spreads and consciousness rises. And I'll tell you then, whether it's the governments or whatever, they will change as well, because all those are just reflections of who and what we are. So we are impacting not just ourselves, not just our own lives, not just the people we come in contact with. We are leaving our footprints in the cosmos. We are all connected. So light is what holds the energies of the universe. It's the same light is flowing through the air, through the water, through fire. So I'm saying something very powerful here, guys. I actually do workshops on this. There's consciousness in fire, there's consciousness in water, there's consciousness in the air. And Anu, you will resonate with this. Every time we do a puja, we use all these things, because all alchemy happens finally through the elements, and it could not happen or would not happen if there was no consciousness. All right. So it's a combination of some of the things that we've talked about when you get down to the rituals of things. And you can look at any religion across the world. They all use incense, flowers, something that represents air, earth, water, fire, etc. All right. So they're the same everywhere because they create alchemy. Now, what is healing? What is spiritual healing? It's actually alchemy. It's when you completely are able to change the resonance and frequency of whether it's a disease, whether it's an emotional state or whatever, and I'll come to that in a bit, all right? So the consciousness of the universe is also a shifting consciousness created by all of us who reside there and who contribute to it. And this universal intelligence maintains the organization and balance of the universe. Now, there is an extension of this intelligence called innate intelligence within each of us, keeping us alive, healthy, and in balance. This innate intelligence or life force communicates with the rest of our physical being in large part via our brain, spinal cord, and the rest of our nervous system, which is the controlling system in our body. As long as the communication between our brain and body is open and free-flowing, we remain in an optimal state of health. When there is an interference, your cells may begin to break down, our resistance may begin to weaken, and then we end up with dis-ease. Dis-ease is a lack of ease. So healing is, as I said, medical science has served us beautifully, but finally we end up dealing with the symptoms. You got a headache, you're taking a Combiflam, headache gone. What caused the headache? What caused the recurring headaches? So healing is all about removing these subluxations and misalignments so that you can remove the cause, not just the symptom. Now, let's talk a little bit about the human body. We human beings are basically a mass of pulsating energy. We are not just a physical body. We have 7 different energy bodies. You have a mental energy body, an emotional energy body, an etheric body, an astral body, and a physical body. The physical body is the one you can see because it is the densest form of energy. Now, very quickly, your mental energy body is the home of your thoughts. It lives in the what-if land, dislikes change. Most of our habits are rooted in the mental energy body. Your emotional energy body, of course, is the home of all your earthly yearnings, your significant memories, core desires. Your etheric body is composed of a matrix of energy that interpenetrates the physical body at through different places called chakras. And our astral body is an exact replica of our physical body. It extends about 5 to 8 inches. I believe Gautam Buddha had one which was over 250 miles long or something like that. And when we die, this is the energy field that leaves us and goes back to reside in the astral world. In fact, think about it. When a person dies, what happens? The bones, the blood, the cells, the muscles, everything are intact. What is left? Energy. So no energy, no life. Now, all these energy bodies are interfacing with each other, right? You think about it. Thoughts affect your emotions affect your thoughts. It stands to reason they will affect your body. And as energy cannot be destroyed, it has to come and rest somewhere. So we carry both aspects of these energies in us. And just as your physical body is composed of interrelated parts that have specific functions like muscles, bones, arteries, veins, skeletal systems, etc., your energy body, which supports this, has its own anatomy. Every cell in your body is carrying a consciousness because it is supported by an energy field. And that energy contains consciousness, it contains information. All this put together, your aura, you know, we say this very often, oh, so-and-so's got a great aura, so-and-so's got a magnetic aura, etc., etc. What is your aura? Your aura is the sum total of who you are. Every last thought, word, deed, action, emotion that you have ever experienced in this life and in your past lives, you carry as an energetic imprint in your energy field, okay? Now, some people's auras reach out and embrace you, others lock you out like an electric fence. So basically, we are giving off vibes and we are sensing vibes from others also. So this aura is a bioelectromagnetic field of energy, which is a protective atmosphere. It's a two-way conduit. It's giving out your vibes. It's imbibing others as well. And sometimes it shows you where you shouldn't go, who you shouldn't interact with through a vibe that you get. So I always tell people, please always listen to your gut. We call it the gut, but it's really, it's scientific. It's your energy body reading the energies around you and coming back to you with the information. Now, achieving your desires and being in a state of optimal health depends on the condition of this electromagnetic field of energy. All right. I'm going to quote Max Planck over here. He was the father of quantum physics. Max Planck said, matter does not create consciousness. Consciousness creates matter. It's a very powerful statement. If you think about it, we've spent our lives going, okay, if I get that job, then I'll be happy. If my children XYZ, I'll be happy. If I lose so much weight, I'll be happy. The truth of the matter is, depending on what frequency you vibrate with your thoughts and your emotions, it then creates reality in matter. It works the other way around. All right. So I'm going to take you very briefly through our chakras. I know this is something quite done to death, but in order to understand healing, it is vital to understand chakras. So we have 7 basic chakras: the crown, third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra. Now, very interesting to note, our endocrine system, okay? You have the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, the thymus gland, the pancreas, the adrenals, and the ovaries. Every chakra is positioned in front of an endocrine gland. That's the physical aspect. And it has to do with a certain aspect of your lives. Let me quickly take you through this. Let's begin with the root chakra, which is at the bottom of your spine. Metaphysically, the root chakra has to do with your roots. What are your roots? Your family, tribe, material world, physical security and needs, your basic human survival. If you end up with problems in any of these areas, you could end up with one of the following physical problems: chronic lower back pain, sciatica, varicose veins, IBS, panic attacks, problems with legs, bones, feet, rectum, etc. I'm just giving you some examples. Then we come up to the sacral chakra, which is just below the navel. This is the home of our 5 senses. all aspects of physical gratification, which include food, sex, a physical comfort of life, enough sleep, fertility, etc. The diseases connected with this, the large intestine, reproductive system, pelvis, appendix, bladder, sexual potency, circulatory system, menstruation, anemia, all come from, and you know, I mean, I'm not being feminist here, but I love saying this. A lot more women end up with problems in this area than men do. Let me give an example. I mean, say you're running fever and your child is sick. You're going to get up, you're going to do whatever's required in the home with the kids. With most men, I mean, if they're unwell, they're unwell. If they don't feel like, you know, so they're more used to taking care of themselves physically. So ladies, very, very important to nurture yourself. Make sure you get enough rest, enough food, enough, all of that. Then we come to the solar plexus, which is just above the navel. This is your seat of empowerment, your personal ego, pride, personality, self-esteem, your fears, your sense of confidence or lack of it, achievement, all comes from here. This is the place that actually gives us the power to do, to create, to manifest in our lives. And I think 90% of people end up with issues in the solar at some point or the other. The diseases connected with this are the liver, spleen, nausea, stomach ulcers, fatigue, allergies, diabetes, colon, pancreatitis, etc. The heart chakra I don't need to go into. It has to do with your emotions. But the diseases connected with the heart are the lungs, ribs, thymus gland, asthma, bronchitis, shoulders, arms, hands. You know, very interesting to note, we don't say he's had a colon attack, but we will say he's had a heart attack. Because when a person is emotionally, when things are piling up, you feel under a sense of attack. So your throat chakra is your seat of creativity, communication, self-expression, power of will. Some of the illnesses connected with this are chronic bad throats, mouth ulcers, gum problems, thyroid, swollen glands, neck, jaw, teeth, etc. Then you come to the third eye. The third eye is our seat of intuition, wisdom, higher knowledge, understanding, etc. And diseases connected with this would be brain tumors, stroke, blindness, deafness, tinnitus, seizures, sleeplessness, etc. So now what is basically happening is the universal life force of energy flows into us from our crown chakra. It is golden white in color. Golden white contains all the colors. I mean, if you take the 7 colors of the rainbow and spin them together, you'll get white light. And as it flows down, it assumes the different colors. So golden white is representative of the whole. Each color is a part manifestation of the whole. So color is very much a part of who you are. Color courses through and contains all. There is no separateness. So what I'm saying, and this is powerful, we are a microcosm of the macrocosm. We have earth, air, water, fire in us. That's Ayurveda. We have the colors in us. We have light in us. There's light outside. There's light within us. So we are the universe. We are the universe. We have the sky, the earth, the waters. I mean, we have all this consciousness flowing through us. Now, a question. Let's talk about the mind-body connect, because we're talking about spiritual healing, and spirituality is about the spirit. Have any of you ever felt butterflies in your stomach? Normally happens when you're a little nervous, right? You don't feel the butterflies here or here, you feel them here. Any of you felt your throat lock in? That could happen maybe when you're about to speak, again, you're a little nervous or something like that. Any of you felt a need to clear your throat before you speak? Have any of you ever blushed? When does that happen? Maybe first date, boyfriend, whatever. Have you heard of people throwing up when they see a terrible sight, something very dirty or something they cannot stomach? Have you heard of someone turning gray overnight when they get some news? Have you heard of someone passing out in shock? Have you heard of someone dropping dead in shock? So what is the one thing that was in common with all these things I've talked about? Just one thing. It was emotion. There was some emotion that triggered a physical response. Emotion is nothing but energy in motion. Every time one of these things happened, your spirit or your consciousness was impacted in some way. And that then manifested in a tangible physical reaction. So Point number 2, as I said earlier, always go with the gut. Remember, your body is always talking to you 24/7. Don't ignore it. Whether it's a headache, whether it's a stomach ache, don't wait for something to get out of hand before you pay attention to it. I'm not saying turn into a hypochondriac, but your body is always talking to you, because emotion is energy in motion and the body never lies. So what is disease? An absence of ease in your mental or emotional energy body will manifest as a physical dis-ease. We create every illness in our bodies. The body is always talking to us. Every cell in your body responds to every word you speak and every thought you think. Continuous modes of behaviors, of thinking and speaking produce body behaviors, postures, eases, and dis-eases. The face you have at 20 is the one you were born with. The one you have at 40 is generally the one you have earned. When you look at someone in their 40s or later, you can tell if someone's had a really hard life or somebody's, you can sense it. So I'm going to say something very powerful here, folks, since we are on the subject of healing. Your biography becomes your biology. Your biography becomes your biology. And your biography is hugely determined by your consciousness, by your thoughts. So mind management, finally, is at the core of everything. It's the law of resonance. And disease is nothing more than a communication from your soul saying, listen, sort out this area or this aspect of your life, and that'll sort out. And I'm going to give you one of my favorite examples. I use the same example, I think, almost every time. I'm sitting in a party, and the lady to my left, lady to my right, lady to my left talks about an art show that two girls wanted to have for their mother. They said, she's older, it's really not about the money, but she's got ovarian cancer. And so we're doing this for her. And I turned around and asked, I said, has she had a problem with any of the children, any of the girls? And this person says, how do you know? I said, well, because see, cancer is linked holistically, hugely to calcified grief and resentment. All right. I'm not going now into the whole electromagnification or what has happened with Earth and Gaia and frequencies. That's another story. But there was an issue there. It manifested like that. Lady to my right, oh, my husband died of kidney failure 2 years ago. So I said to her, I said, look, I'm going to ask you a question. You don't need to answer if you don't want to. But was he holding on to some anger or resentment that he did not express? She goes, yeah. His brother gypped him of everything and he never spoke up. So then it's like a pressure cooker. All right. So disease is a communication from your soul. I'm going to very quickly take you through. So your ears represent our capacity to hear. Earaches are very common with children because they're constantly being told what to do. You don't hear of too many adults having earaches. Headaches have to do with invalidating yourself. Migraines very often is a pressure to be perfect. Your neck is your ability to be flexible in your thinking. Throat is your ability to speak up for yourself. Your back represents your support. The upper back has to do with emotional, the lower back with finances. Your lungs very often have to do with, fear, not being able to take in life. Your stomach digests new ideas. Your legs carry you forward. Your knees carry your flexibility. Our ego resides in our knees, which is why it's one of the hardest things to heal. The colon is your ability to let go. The skin represents individuality. Again, interesting to note, adults don't get acne, teenagers do, because that's the time they're trying to, they're finding themselves, they want to express who they are, their own individuality. The heart, well, as I said, heart attack people very often are not joyous people. The breasts is the mothering principle. I could write a book on the personality types of women who have breast cancer. Very often perfectionists, over-mothering a person, place, or experience, and so on and so forth. So we've established now that there is a connection physically, metaphysically, with our mind, our heart, and our body. There is no separateness. You cannot have one in a certain frequency and the other side of you, another part of you, vibrating in another frequency. So what is the job of a healer? It's to heal your psyche and reconnect you consciously to the state of perfection and wholeness to heal the whole of you. The aim of a holistic healer is to go down to your cellular DNA and actually heal at that level. So then finally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and socially, you become healed. And you can be your own healer. Now, when you look at any kinds of healing, Reiki, pranic healing, color therapy, crystals, they all heal by bringing in light in different forms. So the more, and as I've already said, crystals are the purest form of color on earth. So are flowers, but flowers disintegrate unless you use them as bulk flowers. And crystals just hold their energy. So it's just remarkable how they work. As I said, they emit this sonic frequency and they're color healing at its purest. Now, so everything is light. The more filled you are with light, the more luminous you will be, the more healthy you will be in body, mind, heart, and soul. Now, there are different ways of bringing in this light. One, of course, is consciously working on all aspects of yourself. And, you know, the karmic healing retreat I do is about that. It's to create a free flow. And as I said, the more filled you are with light, your mind, your heart, your body, your soul will all function better because you work on all aspects of yourself. Because everything is resonance, your life will be in resonance. When you're in a state of flow, your health will be in a state of flow as well. We've been conditioned into believing that our thrust has to be outwards. If I want that job, I've got to work that hard. I've got to prove myself. I've got to be better than all the people around me, etc., etc., etc. You know, to achieve anything and everything in your life, the only place you need to work with is yourself. Because when you shift your frequency and there's a free flow of energy through your meridians, through your cells, you then draw in, I would like to call it perfection. Now, every guru, every spiritual text says one thing. They say the same thing. They say, go within. To heal, go within. To spiritualize, go within. What is going within? To me, it means two things. One is know yourself. And if you follow the crowd, you'll be the crowd. You have to, take the time out to stop, assess, who am I? What do I like? What do I don't like? What are my fears? What are my phobias? What are my talents? What is it I desire to do? Where is it that I feel best? Where do I operate best? So go within is know yourself, and go within also means meditation. Now, what happens in meditation? It's the easiest way, folks, to heal yourself. You can be your own best healer. You may not need to go to anybody around to heal you, because let me tell you what meditation actually does. Meditation is not something that is only being practiced in India or only being practiced by the Buddhists. Meditation is being practiced across the globe, across the planet, and there's a reason for it. So what happens in meditation? We consciously travel from body to mind, mind to intellect, intellect to self, and then beyond. When you go into meditation, what you're actually doing is you're downloading light. You know, the shower of light that normally is coming through our crown chakra, it intensifies manifold. So meditation is the process of turning cosmic energy into pranic energy. You're downloading light, and the more filled you are with light, the healthier your vibration. This energy will enhance your body, your mind, your intellect, your emotions, your soul. It opens the doors of our sixth sense and beyond, because we are beings of light. As I said, you will become luminous, and the pulsations, the vibrations, the imprints, the resonance that you will carry will become that much more luminous. So meditation is not something mystical. It's not something otherworldly. It's not something religious. It is pure science. It is pure science. And it's very down to earth, very practical, available to everyone, no matter which religion you practice. Sleep is actually unconscious meditation. Meditation is conscious sleep. In sleep, you get limited amounts of cosmic energy. In meditation, we get unlimited amounts of cosmic energy. So meditation's been practiced in many cultures for thousands of years because the benefits are almost too many to go into. You know, simply meditating on your breath can lower your blood pressure, slow down your heart rate, ease anxiety, manage pain, help you heal from various illnesses, including cancer, heart disease, etc. It will create contentment, peace, do away with anxiety. It sharpens the mind, so helps you at work. It brings you to a place of stillness. I could go on and on. It helps you deal with anger, with sadness, with jealousy, with addictions, with unresolved grief, other traumas. Traumatic memory can actually be released with breath. When you just give yourself this intention saying, okay, with every in-breath, I'm taking in light. With every out-breath, I'm releasing all that I do not need. One little story, you know, many years ago, there was an experiment done in Washington, D.C. For 3 days, a large group of 4,000 people meditated for long hours with the intention of decreasing the crime rate. And the crime rate that month came down by 25%. So they say if 1/8 of the world population begins to meditate, all darkness will cease. And whatever it is you associate with as darkness. So there are many other stories. Just even if you spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day doing a meditation, that's how powerful it is. So scientists explore in external nature, yogis explore inner nature, and they both come to the same conclusion that the only reality is energy. So whether you're working inwards, whether you're working outwards, it's all about energy. So when you understand it, when you consciously begin to co-create with it, when you begin to work with it, you become your own healer. So if there are any questions, I mean, I've gone into fast forward with a lot of things, but if there are any questions, please feel free.
Yes, people have been asking questions in the chat. I think Smita wanted to ask a specific question. Smita, would you unmute yourself and ask? Or looks like she's left because she said she had to leave at 4.
Okay.
And
yeah, I think it'll be a slightly longish.
Yeah, so her question I can share with you. She says, I believe we have, is there anybody else who wants to ask a question? Because Smita is not present here right now. There's no point asking her question before asking the question of people who are present here already.
I want to ask one question, Bindu. As you said that, you know, when you are like Adi Shankaracharya, he himself was God himself. But when he was in his last bed, he himself got problems like TB and cancer. So when you say that when you are like bolte na kan kan mein you his naam jap was there, his Bhagwan was there, but then why he still had to suffer? As you said, whatever you think, whatever you come, that kind of thing comes back to you, and that becomes a disease in you. So I just wanted to like that. I know quite a few more people who are too much into spirituality, but still they are suffering a lot. So
sorry. First and foremost, spirituality does not mean that you're going to float through life. Spirituality means it will give you the wherewithal that you need to deal with whatever comes your way. Of course, a lot of things will shift, but everything in your karmic imprint can't shift. Talking about Adi Shankaracharya, I do know that many gurus actually take things onto themselves from their different people around them. So I really wouldn't have an answer to that. But coming back, and I say this all the time, spirituality is just about raising your consciousness, raising your vibrations. And it can completely change. Okay, to give you a little example, say you're in a place of conscious co-creation and there's all hell breaking loose all around you. People are yelling and screaming. If you're aware and you're not reactive, chances are the situation will diffuse. If you end up becoming reactive and adding to the whole thing, chances are it'll flare up. So in that sense, you can end up shifting many things. And this was just an emotional example. But yeah.
You know, Ruchira, I have actually, the question that you're asking is something even I had struggled with for a long time, saying that on the one hand, if you do understand pranic healing and do meditation, then you will be able to control disease. So how come Ramana Maharishi died of cancer and Ramakrishna Paramahams died of cancer? And then when I read more about them, Ramana Maharishi, he was smiling till the very end. The point is that capacity to stay, वो समता जो होती है ना, that equanimity, that was not affected by the disease of the body. And these were people who had gone beyond, they had gone beyond their body identities.
That is what I say. But still, what she says, this you have to increase your consciousness and bring it to the universe. Then universe में there will be a upliftment. तो मैं जब बोली कि कई जो महात्मा लोग हैं, whom they are also suffering, उनके तो already इतनी uplifted है. I mean, like, still, why they
Are they saying to you that they are suffering? They are Gyanis. They are beyond the body. Have they come and said they are suffering? Ramana Maharshi never said he's suffering. Ramakrishna Paramahams refused even to take anesthesia. They did not come and say they are suffering. The Agyani thinks they are suffering because Agyani thinks they are a body. The Gyani is not a body. As long as we believe of ourselves as being body-mind entities, the body-mind mechanics and the entire system works for us. And we need to know, each one of us needs to know where we stand, what is our belief about who we are.
Correct.
Yeah, so we'll take a question by Sabina now. Sabina has a question. Sabina is asking, great talk, Bindu. Is there any specific meditation technique you recommend?
Well, Sabina, I've actually given Anu a meditation we're going to play. This is a self-healing meditation, and I want to give you a little background to this actually. Many years ago when I was conducting a retreat, there was a clairvoyant with us, and he actually connected with Bhrigu Rishi. And Bhrigu Rishi downloaded this meditation. Every word has come from him. It happens to be my voice because this person was told, tell Bindu to record it, because I do record a lot of my meditations. And there are thousands of people doing this now. This happened about 13 years ago. And the rishis have actually promised that if you do this for 7 weeks consecutively, stuff will happen. So today, since we're on the subject of healing, this is a self-healing meditation. You can go through it today, and later on, the technique that you will learn with this, you don't even need to, if any of you want it, I can sort of WhatsApp it to you as well. But after this, you can use this technique to heal yourselves. Awesome. I said this earlier, by simply something as simple as visualizing a white light above you, feel that light flowing into you, flowing into every cell, tissue, muscle of your body, and then you send that healing light to the specific part of your body, which may be in pain or whatever. And I guarantee you will, if you're doing it genuinely, you will be amazed at the results after a while. So today's session will teach you.
Great.
Thanks for that, Bindu. Thank you.
So there is a comment from Rekha saying, so much food for thought, Bindu. I will need to watch the video again to absorb it. Lovely. I will share the recording as well. And okay, we can play the, would you like to address Smita's question, or should we go to the meditation directly?
You just give her question so that we also listen to it.
So her question is need to leave at 4 question. Okay. I believe we all have 2 guides who are always with us. Can you please talk more about these guides and how to connect with them more actively?
Yeah, that's a very nice question. That's a very good
guides. In fact, some of us have more than 2. I happen to know who my guides are as well. And very often, I'm going to just say it like this. We keep talking about the gut feeling. Very often, it's your guides talking to you and telling you, don't go there, or do this, don't do that. We all have spirit guides who have helped us when we have actually written our life scripts to come down, and they remain with us. And very often these guides can be your grandmother from somewhere or whatever, but of course,
Smita is not here, but I would share that one of the best ways to connect with them better is to start heeding their advice.
That too, and one of the best ways, that is when you're listening to them. But I actually discovered the name of my guide. I saw the images and all under hypnotherapy. I did. And that's a long time back. It was quite awesome. And then over the years with my whole Egypt connection, etc.
We will be having a session on hypnotherapy here sometime in September. I think Achla Ali will be doing a session for us.
Lovely.
And
everybody will love that.
I must share, my own asthma was cured by meditation. I was on medication and steroids for years. And after I started meditation, I realized I did not have a single attack. For a few months did I realize I hadn't even taken any medication for 7 months. And it's been 15 years now. I haven't had a single asthma attack since.
Wonderful. You know, I've sat in rooms where there were almost 1,000 people, regular meditators, who have stood up and narrated their experiences. And some of them were absolutely mind-boggling in terms of the health. One person claimed his cancer cured because of that.
Yeah, so, you know, there is a reason we do this sharing, because we have benefited so much from it. It seems criminal not to share and not to help people find their own resonance with this and, you know, be better versions of themselves.
With whatever resonates.
With whatever resonates, absolutely. Okay, there is another question. Let me just see. 1 second. Okay, Akash is asking, what draws us towards dark or gray vibes?
You need to clarify that question. What draws you? No.
It's dark or gray vibes.
So Akash, right? Akash,
yes.
If you're in a dark place yourself, you will attract dark to you. It doesn't work the other way around. To a certain extent, it would, I guess. The deeper you go, then the more you get attracted, because everything is resonance. Everything is resonance.
And it's a symbiotic relationship. Once that is established, they keep feeding into each other.
So, you know, it's actually, if you think about it, somewhere, I know it sounds simple, it's hard to practice, but it all finally boils down to the mind and our thoughts.
Absolutely.
How we choose to be.
Absolutely.
You make the choice and then you work on it and then watch the magic.
I know a couple of years back, I was going through this phase of introspection and I got very, very, very annoyed with myself, saying, what is this? Every time I feel that my life is getting better and, you know, why do I keep getting challenges all the time? And then I realized that I had this self-belief of being a warrior woman. So if you believe yourself to be a warrior woman, you have to be at war constantly. What else will you do? And that is when I said, set this aside. I am a relaxed woman of leisure. And that's where I am now.
That's so cool.
Okay, so I shall, without wasting any more time, move to sharing the meditation.
It's called the Shambhala Meditation because the rishis are all in Shambhala.
Anchoring the light meditation. Whenever you practice this meditation, you not only influence a major shift in your energy field, but also in that of your surroundings. If you meditate on this light for 7 weeks consecutively, it can clear out the negative emotional baggage and the negative cords that drain your energy. It will help you harmonize your mind, body, and soul. This is our promise. The rishis are happy to help you because you are helping them in spreading the light and helping their sister Gaia, Earth, who is hurt and troubled. Let the vision of a peaceful planet and universal oneness expand and the energy merge. So be it. So be it. So be it. Steps for meditation. Request the Divine Masters and Maharishis to guide you. support you, and protect you while you do this meditation. We begin with the Shambhala light invocation. Light, light in me. Light, light around me. Light, light that is a part of me. Light, light of which I'm a part of. Light, light, light. Guide me, O light. Fill me, O light. Heal me, O light. Protect me, O light. I surrender to you, O light. I am light. I am light. I am light. So be it. And now, do 7 rounds of deep breathing to balance the Ida and Pingala nadis, which are the main left and right nerve channels carrying the cosmic energy in your energy body. And now, visualize an ocean of shimmering bluish white light above you. And imagine your Brahmarandhra, your crown chakra, which is located at the top of your head. Visualize it open up in the form of a 1,000-petaled white-colored lotus. Start accepting the cosmic light of the Masters in the form of the bluish white light energy pouring into your Brahmarandhra, your crown chakra, located at the top of your head. Let it pour down and fill your entire body, organ by organ. It is as if you are an empty bottle, and this light is filling your entire body, just as liquid flows in the bottle. It is filling you up from head to toe. At this point, the central nadi in your body, called the Sushumna nadi, is also getting filled with this brilliant healing light. After this light has filled your entire body, visualize it coming out from the pores of your skin. And imagine this light, which is now emanating from your skin, encompassing all that is around you. It is now glowing and covering your whole body in its brilliance. You are now sitting in a ball of healing divine bluish white light, and it radiates for about 7 feet in all directions from your body. And now keep your hands on your heart and mentally start sending out ripples of this healing energy in the form of concentric circles all around you. Visualize it as if you have become a radio station, transmitting waves of pure consciousness. Alternatively, you can repeat the universal laws as a mantra: love and light, love and light, while sending out ripples of healing energy. These laws also then become your intention, sending out the healing energy. Spread the radius of these ripples of light and let it fill your room. Your entire home, the space around your home, your neighborhood, the whole city, the whole state. The entire country, and the whole of the earth. And then the whole universe. This energy senses and heals everything that comes in contact with it, illuminating the minds and hearts of everyone. It connects the whole of the universe. Keep spreading it until you feel totally connected to the universe. This is how you anchor the spiritual light of healing energy and pure consciousness. Focus your intention on spreading the love, light, peace, and oneness in the universe by sending out these ripples of consciousness in the form of the spiritual light. And this Vedic shloka can also be recited. Loka samastha sukhina bhavantu, which means let all planes of existence be comfortable, at poise, and contented. Let there be peace and harmony in the universe. So be it. Towards the end of the meditation, you can raise your hands in the blessing position and use the excess spiritual energy you created to bless your health, bless your finances, your career, relationships, etc. You can also focus your intentions to bless specific areas on earth or specific people in your life going through a rough time. Bless them with courage, love, and light. Before ending your meditation, you can chant some spiritual mantra like Om Namah Shivaya or Om Shanti Shanti. You can repeat any specific affirmation for world peace or mentally pray. After finishing the last step, mentally thank the masters, Maharishis, and all the gurus for healing you and making you a divine channel of light. Rest for a minute or two. Now take a few deep breaths and slowly open your eyes with a big smile on your face. The usual duration of this meditation could be a minimum of 10 minutes or can be stretched as per your comfort.
Bindu, can we have this meditation uploaded, please?
I have it on, send me your WhatsApp number and I'll send it to you. I have it on WhatsApp. I don't know how clear the music was to you. I couldn't hear any of the music, but I think it was clear enough. Otherwise, yeah.
How do I get in touch with you on WhatsApp? How will I send my WhatsApp number?
Note down my number.
I think both of you are on the Cafe Spirituality group. You should be able to find your numbers from there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So,
thank you so much. Oh, sorry. I think it's one second. Just give me a moment. Oops. Stop there.
Hello. Hello.
1 second. You'll have to give me a moment. I think it's gone off into
Anchoring the light meditation. Whenever you practice this meditation, you not only influence a major shift in your energy field, but also...
Oops. My apologies, guys. I don't seem to be able to stop it.
Just turn the volume down then.
Anchoring the light meditation.
Yeah, I'll do that 1 second. But as soon as I can find
whenever you practice this meditation,
just say bye.
You influence a major shift in your energy field, but also in that of your surroundings. If you meditate on this light for 7 weeks consecutively, it can clear out the negative emotional anchoring the light meditation cords that drain your energy. Whenever you practice this meditation, it will help you harmonize not only influence a major shift in your energy field, but also in that of your surroundings.
Okay, I'm going to
if
mute
you meditate
myself.
on this light for...
Okay. Are the others on mute? Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So would anyone like to add anything, ask anything, and then maybe we can call it a day? Yeah. And what I'll do is we can upload this meditation on the Cafe Spirituality group. I'll do that if it's okay with Anu. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. It'll be. I think it'll be much.
Thank you very much.
Much clearer. Okay.
Bindu, I wanted to ask, why is this meditation in a very like as a haunting voice? Is any particular reason why it is like as if something's coming from the outer this thing?
There's no why.
Doesn't it sound like?
I think if you hear it off your phone, it'll sound a little different. I mean, on this platform, it didn't sound anything like what it sounds like. I could hear the voice.
Some reverb has been added to it. I think that's it.
A little bit, yeah.
Achha. And this is by Bhrigu Rishi came to this man?
The words are Bhrigu Rishis. Every word, every single, yeah.
Bindu, do you have a recording in Sanskrit? The original...
No.
No? Oh, okay.
His words in English, and that's what I've done.
Okay, cool.
But if somebody would like to translate it, we can do stuff with it. I'm cool. I'm
okay.
Presentations all the time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you for having me, Anu. It was lovely being here. And
I am light.
I have still not been able to stop that or reduce the volume. News in the background for me. I'm unable to find it on my system right now. I don't know how to reduce it. So anyways, thank you so much, Bindu. This was beautiful. I will just complete with the shloka because that is how it complete the sessions. Yeah.
Do 7 rounds of deep breathing.
I will have to look for this later. I don't know how to stop it.
Which are the main left and right nerve channels.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We normally also do Sarve Bhavantu Sukhna and Astoma Sadgamya, but we've already done this in the meditation. You've already said that.
Right.
So,
okay.
thank you very much once again.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to stop the recording now. And also, I'm going to